Hey friends! So a fun fact for you about me is that I have been in love with Les Miserables since I was a sophomore in high school, where I played that one factory girl who gets Fantine fired, and also Fantine's understudy, because that's how theater works. But the point is, I was obsessed with it. And so when Tom Hooper in 2012 decided that he was going to make a movie out of one of my very favorite musicals of all time, I was like, oh my god, I have to see this movie. So I go with all my friends, right? And I cry so bad at this movie that not only do I end up leaving the theater with makeup all over my face, but by the time we are walking out to the car, my face is literally sore from constantly attempting to clean myself up so that I looked like a normal human person. So clearly I really liked it. But the other thing is, I am a theater person. I'm a Broadway person. I literally got up at 4 a.m. one time in college so that we could catch a bus to go see the revival of Les Mis. So there were some things. I had some feelings. I'm just going to go through and kind of talk about how I felt about each of these actors that were chosen for these roles and what the deal is with that. So Hugh Jackman, right? Hugh Jackman's amazing. He really is. And I, in general, think that he was an incredible Valjean. Like, acting-wise, this man was so on point that I cannot even begin to tell you. The micro-expressions, the journey that we took with him facially in every single scene that he was in, yes, I was completely on board with this. Unfortunately, there were also two things with which I was not on board. Number one, did we really need to add an extra song? Answer, no we did not, especially since it is a song that adds absolutely nothing to the plot or Valjean's character in any way. I understand that Hugh Jackman sings pretty and we want to give him lots of opportunities to do that. However, in doing that, they took out many pieces of songs that were my favorite parts of the whole songs, and I am still bitter about this 6 years later because it wasn't necessary. Okay, so number two, and this one I feel really bad complaining about, but I did not like Hugh Jackman's rendition of Bring Him Home even a little bit. And the thing is, he could have done it well. They could have lowered the key a little bit, and then it would have been really well within his wheelhouse, and he could have just belted that thing out, and I would have loved it. I recognize that many people would have been upset about the change from the original key, but in the long run, I think we were all more upset about the fact that he really wasn't comfortable singing it. And I feel bad complaining about that because I saw in this interview one time that Hugh Jackman was talking about how he was literally like riding a bike while breathing through a straw so he could get his diaphragm in shape for that specific song. And I kind of feel like it really didn't work as well as he maybe hoped that it was going to. But genuinely, aside from those two things, I really truly loved him in that role. So, moving on to Russell Crowe as Javert. Everyone complained about this choice. Everyone, because Russell Crowe is not a singer. Russell Crowe kind of seemed like he had maybe never sung before in his life before he appeared in this movie. And I know a lot of people feel very strongly about how Javert should be, and the fact that he should be a very strong vocalist, and I totally understand that, and I agree. But I think if we're going to have a character who's gonna, be kind of robotic, let it be the guy who is rigid and stuck in his ways and completely unwilling to bend the rules in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I wanted Norm Lewis, honestly, but I'm just saying there's a potential justification there if we really wanted to reach for one. Okay, so Anne Hathaway's Fantine I actually really loved. Like, if I had a choice and I could get a Broadway actress turned TV movie star Fantine, would I take it? Absolutely. But if I'm gonna get somebody like Anne Hathaway who has that tenderness and that sort of ability to demonstrate how broken she has become, and someone who if she can't belt out the emotional parts, is going to cry her way through them and make me cry my way through them, then you know what? I'm gonna take that too. I really liked her. The thing about Eddie Redmayne's Marius is that he is a total nerd. Idealistic, romantic, ridiculous dork who has no idea what he is doing, which honestly is my favorite kind of Marius of all time. So I kind of loved him in this. And again, I think he did a really, really good job acting. Like, I cried my eyes out through his whole empty chairs at empty tables. And I thought he was just so precious about the whole Cosette situation. The only thing is that it bothered the crap out of me that we zoomed in so far during his big climactic empty chairs moment that we got a full view of his shaking jaw. Because the jaw tension, not great vocal technique wise, and actually sort of distracting. Other than that though, like I said, he is super adorable, so we forgive him. Right, so moving on, Sam Barks is one of my favorite Eponines of all time. She is incredible, and she has done the role like a bunch of times. She did it in London, she did it at the 25th anniversary, so clearly we knew going into this that she was going to be an incredible choice. She so did not disappoint. Again, acting flawless, micro expressions amazing, vocals completely on point. The only thing that I wished was that she could have done more, and I totally get why she couldn't, because a movie is not the same, obviously, as performing on a Broadway stage. So you can't go and be in a movie and give a stage performance. But that's what I wanted, because I know she does it so phenomenally well. I kind of just wanted her to leave everyone else in the dust. Truly, though, her transition from stage to screen was great. The only other thing that I wished was that they didn't friggin' cut out the bridge to A Little Fall of Rain, because it's my favorite part of the whole song. But that part's obviously not on her. Anyway, I love her. The end. I feel like I have decidedly less to say about Amanda Seyfried's Cosette. She's good. I'm not saying she's not. It's just that Cosette doesn't have nearly as much to do. So basically, Amanda does an excellent job playing an ingenue. She has the innocence. She's beautiful, so all that works. She has good chemistry with Eddie Redmayne, so I mean, she does exactly what she's supposed to do. For me personally, I like a Cosette with more body to her voice. Like, if you could give me literally any Cosette that has ever existed, I'm basically going to pick Judy Kuhn every time, because I thought she was so phenomenal. And Amanda vocally kind of reminds me of Snow White in this role, because her voice is sort of thin and has a lot of vibrato, which is fine if that's your thing. Like I said, I just wanted sort of a different vocal color for the role. Alright, so I've left Enjolras to the end because I am in love with him constantly, but I am particularly in love with him in the 2012 movie because Aaron Tveit is pretty much my favorite Broadway actor of the moment. So I was beyond thrilled about the fact that they had chosen him to do this, and I was not disappointed by any stretch of anyone's imagination. Vocally, he's pretty much perfect. Acting-wise, he's got all of the authority that Enjolras has to have, but he also shows a certain amount of vulnerability that was helped, again, by the fact that we are in a movie and not on the stage, so you could see all of the different expressions and feelings that he was going through. But, you know, the point is that Aaron was able to do that. This is, again, another example of a person who is making a transition from stage to screen and pulling it off really, really well. I thought the Barricade Boys in general were phenomenal, though. I feel like they went in and they chose a lot of very strong vocalists, and I wanted that, you know, we kind of needed that from them. But I mean, I strongly disagreed with the fact that a lot of their stuff was cut. Don't cut things from such strong vocalists. They're amazing. I would have been so amped up. Everybody would have been so amped up. Let them sing. Please, can we have a director's cut where all that stuff is just there? So I really don't have time to talk about this, but George Blagden's Grantaire was so clearly in love with Aaron Tveit's Enjolras, and I was so obsessed with the entire thing. Please watch that. Please pay attention to that. It is amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. Feel free to come have a chat in the comments if you're so inclined. Okay, bye.